Misfits, I'm here at Gen Con. As usual, 2024, we're on day 3. My voice is going, but I'm still holding on. I think we're hanging in there, right? Just a little bit?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. A lot of Red Bull goes a long way.
More caffeine needed today.
So guys, I still go to Off Duty Ninja's booth here. We're at the publisher's area, and we're going to talk about a really cool game. We mentioned it last year in one of our videos. It's called Skyrise. Now, this is Adam. He is the designer of Skyrise. And I was extremely impressed, even with you had the pre-setup and everything. But now you have a final edition that's out and everything. It's by Roxley Games, which we love Roxley Games. They're awesome. Go ahead and explain exactly what's going on here, because I'm just impressed just by looking at it. Okay.
Yes, it's a beautiful game. We spent many years developing this, and a lot of time on the visual design, the product design. I'll go through how the gameplay works basically. Skyrise is a spatial auction game. I'll get into what that means in a little bit here, but we are
big words.
Yeah, we're all artists and architects from history, the early 1900s, in an alternate future where we're building a floating city in the sky. So we've got these islands up above the clouds, and we are each have a unique set of buildings in our color. Every building sculpt in the game is a unique sculpt. Each one has a unique number on the bottom as well, a little bit like the bidding in Raw. People have compared it to.
Okay.
But the main idea is someone is going to start an auction. It's played over a series of auctions, this game. So let's say red player is starting. What we're bidding on are these various colored neighborhood spaces all around the boards. So let's say red places at 24 down as a bid.
Okay.
The next player in clockwise order here needs to outbid that if they want to stay in the auction, or they can pass. So let's say they're going to bid a 32. That needs to be adjacent to the most recent bid. So it needs to share an edge. So that could be right here, or across the bridge over here.
Okay.
So then the next player now has to outbid a 32 adjacent to the 32. So let's say they do that. So that's going to be somewhere one of these spaces. So as the auction goes on, it's going to chain in different directions depending on players' priorities.
Sure.
And what's interesting about this is that what we're bidding on is actually changing with each successive bid. So that if everyone else passed, green here would be winning this space.
Okay.
But let's say red decides to outbid, so they have to go adjacent to the 52. And there's some bridges, so this is actually connected to this space here.
I see.
Or they have this option or this option. But let's say they go here with a 61.
Right.
If everyone else were to pass at this point, red would be winning this space.
Right.
So you're denying, by outbidding someone, you're denying them the space that they previously bid on, and you are bidding on something else, actually. So let's say, now yellow is going to make a much higher bid. Let's go up to 81, and let's say the next two players pass.
Okay.
So at that time, that building is now constructed. That player won the auction.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a little shaky from the caffeine this morning.
It's okay. No worries. We are too.
All the unsuccessful bids return to their owners.
Okay.
So those are all going to come back to your pool.
I get where this is kind of going.
So we just build the one building at the end of every auction, wherever that ended up.
Right.
And the player that won it will collect the disc in that neighborhood. And let me just swap this out. Let's say the red player did it just for the ease of your camera here, so I can do it right in front of you.
Gotcha.
Just throw that over
So
there.
to hold these are just...
Yeah. So the red player won this auction. They will collect this disc. It's going to go on their player board. And there's a couple different types of discs. The ones that are related to the 4 colors of neighborhoods are going to go in the applicable row. And that's like an investment in that color. So now, at the end of the game, that player is getting 3 points for every build on yellow neighborhoods rather than the default 2. So you want to collect a bunch of discs in a certain color to increase your scoring, and then build on that color as much as possible.
Yeah.
These discs are set out randomly at the beginning of the game. So they won't always be color on color like we just got.
Okay.
So one of the cool things about the auction, the red player just won that one, so they start the next auction. They can use any of the remaining bids.
Right.
So if you do spend your big ones too early, you can be at a disadvantage to the other players for a while. You don't want to spend your big stuff too early.
Right.
But anyways, so when you're starting an auction, it can either begin in the middle area, the middle island here, or adjacent to any existing building.
Okay.
So now that we've got to turn in, we've got some other options to start with. But let's say we start right here. This space is surrounded by a lake, and the only entrance is now blocked off. So no one can outbid it. There's no adjacent spot to
They
outbid.
automatically win the bid.
Yes, you just get this for super cheap and collect this token.
I like where this is going. This is really cool.
There's a lot of emergent gameplay that arises. The rulebook is very simple because we're just doing auction after auction after auction, and it's not always apparent the kind of interesting stuff that starts going on as you get into the gameplay.
Yeah. That is really cool.
Yeah.
I kind of see where the strategy is going already. So you're basically driving the auction. The auctions are driving your tactics across the map, basically to get the tokens that you want. So you're going to have a lot of push and pull. I can see where that's going, a lot of push and pull, but you're also trying to be mindful of your not spending your highest bids. I assume there's probably objectives or some kind of goals in the game. Yeah.
So in addition to everyone's scoring evolving on their boards, and this is all open information, so you can see what players are specializing in, you can see what bids they have remaining.
Sure.
But on top of that, we have some public goals. There's going to be 2 of these drawn in each game. So these are going to change up from game to game, but these are things that everyone's competing for. So we're trying to build around blimps or on windmill spaces this game. So there's some purple blimps around the board. We're trying to compete around those, building on windmills there. Those are scored twice during the game. So once at the halfway point, we're going to score some things, and then we're going to unlock some more buildings. So you'll notice that there's some buildings set aside at the beginning here. So at the halfway point, that's going to happen when someone has built all their Era 1 buildings. Once one player has done that, we do this mid-game scoring, we unlock some more buildings, and then we continue on to the second half.
Yeah.
So one of the interesting things I'll mention about this scoring is there's also island control here. So this is a area control mechanism, and the main idea is we are going to, when these score, we're going to check each of these 5 islands one at a time. And we're going to see who has control. And control is determined by the heights of the buildings. So once a building's been built...
Isn't that the truth?
The number doesn't matter anymore once the building's been built. So it's only tall, medium, or short. So even though green has less buildings on this island, they've got more tall, so they would beat out red for the 5-point island control.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
So there's a lot of things to consider there. So one other thing to mention here is when we
with these specialty buildings.
Yes, there is a wonder that you're going to unlock in the second half as well. Just like make that visible.
They
pretty sure
art
it's
on these.
yeah, that's definitely
Incredible
Palpatine.
sculpts.
Yeah.
You'll notice this one won't stand on its head like the other buildings because these wonders automatically win an auction when placed. So in the second era of the game, we'll be bidding along, and you can just drop the hammer and end the auction with your wonder, and you just win it. But everyone has the chance to do that once in the second half of the game.
Okay.
Your wonder, you're going to assign a power to it. So at that halfway point, you're going to choose what power your wonder has. So when you build it, it's going to do some special effect that will contextually score you a different amount of points depending on the game state.
Awesome.
Oh wow,
That
that's
looks
cool.
really, really cool. I like this a lot. I like
This is amazing.
Yeah, I like the design. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous game. I wouldn't think buildings would be that gorgeous generally, but yeah, these are gorgeous. This is like mini. I hate to make it like mini Rome. Was it? Where the like I'm never usually like, oh, this is a great building mini game, but this is a great building mini game. That is really cool.
And you end up with this fantastic cityscape of all the colors around the board.
Yeah.
You use a number of outer islands equal to the number of players. So this would be set up for a 4-player game here, but you would remove islands for
Oh, and the
a
islands
smaller
are
player
movable
game.
too.
Yes, they're all modular, so you set them around the central island that you always use.
Is this available here at the con?
It is, yes. We've got 3 versions of the game. This is the premium collector's edition that has the wash on the minis that we've been seeing here.
Right. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
We've got a collector's edition, 1 level down, that's exact same components but no wash.
Yeah.
And then the essentials edition is the version that goes into retail.
Right.
And let me just turn this. Oh, I can't turn that box around, but it's wooden
Turn it around for
components.
you. Yeah.
Let's open this up for a moment.
Yeah, I'll do the work. It's okay.
There you
So, oh, okay. And these
Still
are still
beautiful,
cool. Yeah,
chunky
these are still
buildings.
cool. Yeah.
All the gameplay is the same. Just
Yeah. That's actually really smart because, yeah, obviously not everybody's going to be crazy like us and want the prettiest buildings. But that's actually really nice, actually, for chunky wooden bits. That is awesome. So you get them here at the con. You have all 3 available. How much do they? What's the price differences and stuff?
the essentials is 65, collectors is 95, and the premium collectors is 125.
Awesome. Those are solid prices too, man. Yeah. Congrats. And this is available after the con on website?
Yes, on Roxley.com we have we're taking sales of Skyrise.
Awesome. Thank you, Adam.
Thank
That's
you.
an amazing game you have here, and yeah, you should be very proud of this. This is awesome. So, guys, check it out. You can check it out at the con at the Roxley booth. It's available here, and it will be available everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the best one. Just get the best one. Save yourself some trouble. It's gorgeous. Until then, guys, pay attention to our Gen Con coverage. We're gonna have a lot more cool stuff today. But yeah, this is honestly probably almost, I want to say my favorite game. Don't tell everybody. This is actually my favorite looking game of the show. I will say. Shh, don't tell anybody else that. Shh. Yeah. Until then, of course, build your skyscrapers tall, because remember, you got control when you have the tallest skyscraper. Until then, as always, guys, game on.